On the journey towards your goals through the means of weightlifting, there can be few things more frustrating than getting a cold, getting sick, getting the flu when you're well on your way towards your goals. So what do? Can you work out when you're sick? I've been a personal trainer a very long time, and one of the questions I get a lot is, can I train while sick? Can I work out while I'm under the weather? And this is one of those things that, unfortunately, someone like me and no other person on this planet can tell you exactly whether you can or can't. It really comes down to your own experience and your own self-mastery. How well do you know your body? Because the real question is not, can I train because you're obsessed with training? It's, can I go and continue on my goals? I have goals down the line and I want to reach them. I don't like the idea of being detoured and having to take a minor detour and rest a week, which will take another full week to basically get you back to where you were prior to that rest week, right? And no one wants to do that. No one wants to stop on the way towards something they desire. It's not about, can I train? So that's what I would recommend you ask yourself. Is training going to help you get to your ultimate goal faster or slower? Because oftentimes, if you're too sick, then training is just going to make you more sick, which of course equates to you having to rest even longer, which will take you even further away from your goals. However, if it's like something minor, like a little head cold, then you could probably get away with it. But here's one thing I want you to consider. All these things that we do to get ourselves to our fitness goals, whether you're trying to cut fat or gain muscle mass and strength, regardless, we have to do things that are stressful to our body. And we do that, of course, because our body is resilient and will adapt to it and produce the adaptations that we desire, whether it's burning fat or gaining muscle and strength. So exercise in and of itself is stressful. It's a catabolic activity, meaning it breaks you down. Okay, it like rips up your tissues temporarily. Cutting weight, dieting, not giving your body sufficient amount of calories, that is in a sense stressful. Okay, now unfortunately you're adding something else to the equation. Now being sick is a stress on your body, and all these stresses that we put upon our body require energy, which is a finite amount of energy, a limited amount of energy to deal with. So you just have to master your body to the extent where you can kind of understand how much effort can I put in the gym and still be progressing towards my goals. Now, with all that said, the way I learned my own self-mastery was to fucking up, making mistakes a lot. I used to train regardless of how I was feeling because I was so hell-bent and so short-sighted about reaching my goals. But in fact, all I did was slow down my progress because I was knuckleheaded and bullheaded, and I would train and train and train, and then I'd get really sick. I would take a common cold, and then it'd turn into a fucking 2-week and 2.5-week flu, which of course really fucked me up. I've done the same thing with injuries. I've ignored them and I've trained through them, and of course it made it worse. It made the situation worse, which just distanced me more from my goals. But over time, I became more discerning and more self-honest with myself, where now, as hard as it is, if I'm feeling really sick, I won't work out because I know it's going to actually prevent me from reaching my goals the fastest possible, okay? Because if your sickness is kind of severe, it's taking a good amount of your physical energy to help repair itself from this, whatever you're going through, okay? But again, if it's a little bit, if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, you could probably get away with training. You just have to back off on something. One of the many training variables, slightly. You could back off on the amount of sets you do. You can back off on the amount of weight you are using. Back off like 10-20%. You can back off with the intensity if you're doing like cardio and interval training or whatever. So again, I love working out, I love exercise, and I really enjoy the journey of getting from wherever you're starting to wherever you want to go, because in that journey, you learn a lot about yourself. You become your own master. And this is just another invitation by your sickness here to become more of a self-master, more in tune with what is optimal for your body. And there's not a single person on the internet that can tell you what to do. And if you search long enough, you'll find people to say you can train no matter what, quit being a bitch. And you're going to also find like your wussy guys that says, oh, you should never train when you're sick. It's just going to prevent recovery. You just got to fucking experiment on yourself. Don't be afraid to be wrong either. Don't be afraid to train when you're sick and then get more sick, and then you'll know. Next time, you'll know better. You'll have something of your own individual experience to reflect upon, okay? What the fuck is in my eye? Anyway, guys, I hope that helps. I see a lot of videos out there on this topic, and so I always kind of wanted to chime in and share my 2 cents, okay? So with that, I wish you well. Hope you're feeling better, because I imagine you're sick if you're searching this type of video, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.